guys, and welcome back to our newly named channel. Today we're working on a Corgi Buick Regal, and it's the car that actually belonged to the character called Kojak in the 70s series. So it's a bit bashed up here and there, as you could expect from a car of its age, but all in all, apart from the little gun that's missing here, everything works on it. It's a bit scuffed on the top, it's got a small crack at the window. The A-pillars have come away, but nothing that's not fixable. It's just an easy fix. Door's still open on it. Front suspension's a little bit dodgy, but again, that's something that we can fix. Now this thing on the back, I thought you turned it and it moved this little dude in the back, but it actually isn't. It turns out to be, it's the clicking noise which gives you the sound effect of the gun that he's firing. So inside we've got like this little piece of plastic, which I was a bit worried what it was at first, but that turns out to be the little beacon police light that you put on the top of the car. So yeah, all in all, lovely car. So let's get it down the bench and let's split it up and see what we've got. So as always, I've pre-drilled it, but it's just like any other car really. Just drill it at the front on the little rivets and pop it out. But I'm sure I've not gone quite far enough on this front one, so I might just have to, yeah, give us a second. Let's give this a quick drill. Is she gonna go? There she goes. So as you can see, there's a lot of components to this. Oh, there's a piece that's flew out already. The bumpers fell off. So that's just a piece of cog that sits in the back. Yeah, as I say, I thought it was that little dude, but it's not. It's just like a clicking noise. Oops. it's lively, this one. So yeah, let's get the wheels out the way. Yeah, that just pops back in. Let me just see where this goes so I can remember. Just pop it back in, just so I can got a better clue of how it's all going to go back together. So this is the first time I've really done one of these cars with all the mechanics inside it, so this is a new for me as well. Yeah, seems straightforward enough though, to be honest. As you can see, like the little motion of the little arm flicking that wheel, that's what makes the audio sound. And these are the pieces of the front suspension that I've snapped off. They basically work how the you see metal in the newer models, like a little leaf spring, so to speak. These are probably the predecessors to that type of design, which is plastic, but over time it becomes brittle and heavy play where with kids and what have you, they tend to snap off. So I'm just trying to figure out where they came from at first. I'm looking if they came up the back bits or whatever, and then I realised it was off the front suspension there. So without further ado, let's strip it out and see what we've got. All these little components together, best not lose any. I don't know what happened to Kojak himself. Like, he must be out hunting somebody down. He's left this dude in his car, his partner in crime. Well, fighting crime, should I say. I always remember the lollipops as a kid as well. Kojak lollipops. I think it was his catchphrase. Who loves your baby, or something like that, if I remember rightly. I'm sure it was something like that. I can't really remember, to be honest. I'm sure it was. There we go, we've got the interior, just a bit grubby. And there's the police light that you just pop out. which is strange that it's got no paint on it, it's not no colour, so I don't know. We can sort that out, we will do, we'll figure it out. Pop out the dash. Nice bit of detail there. It's quite cool. Close over the little beacon. Which I'm quite amazed that it's still attached to the car, to be honest. So it looks like one of them pieces that like a kid would usually chew off, you know. And there's the transparent. It's got a bit of a crack in the front. But I'm just basically going to clean this up best I can, and then I'll try and get a replacement at a later date when things are more back to normal. Let's pop out the rear lights. And the front bumper's got to come off. You will come out. There you go. Oops. There she blows. Let's retrieve her. And she's a bit scratched up and needs a little bit of care, but we can fix all this up. It's not a problem. Looking at the doors, thinking whether to take them off or just pondering with the idea. What to do. I mean, they open quite wide, so spraying will be a bit easier. So I don't think I'll give myself the headache of removing them and possibly breaking the spring or bending it. So I'll leave the doors in. But as you can see, here's the A-pillar damage. They just come away from the front there, so that's an easy fix. There's a little bit of a twist and a bend on one of them, but other than that, it should be straightforward enough. Yes, should be okay there. So let's just lay everything out and see what we've got here. The wheels are not too bad. They should clean up pretty well. And the base is just plastic. Basic Corgi plastic base. Nothing special. So quite a few components. Anyway, let's get the paint off. So here we go. Boiling water as normal, guys. Safety gear is crucial. Gloves, mask, ventilated area. All the same rigmarole, you know. Be careful. So you just pop in the boiling water. And then pop in the caustic. And watch the magic happen. A nice reaction there. This is going to be a nice job. You can usually tell this straight away with the froth and bubbles, and you can see the paint there on the top. So it's already coming off now, so this should be an easy strip. Excuse me. I'm running really low on caustic as well, so I'm going to have to try and grab some from somewhere. I'm getting sick of using that other bloody paint stripper. It's too messy for me. I like this method. Just pop it in the caustic, give it a quick swirl, and it's done. The other stuff works great, like, but I just prefer this method myself. So just give the paint a little bit of help with a toothbrush. Off lovely. Really nice job. And it looks like I've got no gloves on and I'm preaching to you guys, but these are the see-through ones. If you look carefully, I've actually got a pair on. So I'm not being a hypocrite, I promise you. Trying my best to manoeuvre this around because it's quite a heavy model and I didn't want to drop it. And I've lots of splashback off this caustic, so very tentatively moving it around this and scrubbing it very gingerly so nothing splashes anywhere. Give it a little swirl. I'll just leave that to do that while I go and do the rest of the interior. So I just sped this up a little touch because I didn't want it droning on too long, you know, so you all know the drill. Hot soapy water, little toothbrush, a bit of elbow grease, and about 10 minutes tea time. And it brings it up absolutely beautiful. So pleased to give the time lapse. Get it all out. Move that out of the way. Let's give this window a good screen. So this stuff's been sitting in this really piping hot water when it went in. So it's been in there like a good 40 minutes soaking, so that's why I took it all out the water. It's pretty much clean anyway, it's just a case of just like brushing off the excess. Cleared all these gear, the gears, all the gear work up, get all the grime off so things run smoothly. And the wheels a little scrubbed up. So let's get this window unit polished up. Again, just kept it on the time lapse just to save boring anybody watching me doing a tedious job, you know. Like this is just a auto sol metal polish and a little Q-tip. Just like working it in, trying to take out any tiny scratches that it may have. I know the big ones, I'm not going to touch that, but any of the little ones, it helps inside and out. So just work it in everywhere you can. So if anybody is actually curious, the reason I changed the name of the channel is because I found out there was actually another channel called Retro Restorations. So mine was the same, but it had a UK on the end, and I just felt it was a little bit too similar, so I just took the plunge and had a name change and changed the logos and all the rest of it, and sort of had a little rebrand if you must. So if anyone was wondering who the hell this diecast salvage was in the subs list, I do apologise. But yeah, it just seems a better fit, a better name. So hopefully this is what we're going to stick with, and hopefully we'll get a lot more subs now and more regular people. But I will take this opportunity to thank all my regular subscribers and visitors to the channel who always comment and like every video. It means a lot and I appreciate every one of you. And if you are watching this and not subscribed, then please do take a minute if you're liking what you're seeing and hit that subscribe button and the like button, and please do make a comment. I do reply to everybody. I'm just using a Molotov pen here. Just gonna do these bumpers. But I was noticing as I was doing this, the grill was fine, it was working great. But when I started to do the actual bumper, it wasn't adhering to it very well. So you'll see now coming up just here now, it wasn't sticking very well. So I wasn't having that. So I put that away, washed everything off, dried it all up, and then what you do here in this instance is you grab yourself a Sharpie, a black one, because chrome always adheres to a darker colour better. So you get yourself a black Sharpie, a little bit more time, and just go over everything in black Sharpie. And once that's done, then you can carry on as normal and things should turn out a lot better for you. So yeah, as I was saying, just thank you to everybody for your time, and I appreciate it all. Anyway, crack on with the video. Enough of that. As I say, I'm just colouring in here with a Sharpie. You can use spray paint, anything really. I just use a Sharpie just for ease, and it dries quick and it works well for me. So that's it, yeah. So let that dry, we do the other one, because no doubt that'll be the same. So I might as well just do the same process while we're here. Tell I spent a lot of time colouring in as a kid, can't you? Getting into all the nooks and crannies, make sure you cover everywhere. Even the places that you're not going to see. Just 100% coverage. Keep everything uniformed. Right, back to the Molotov pen. There we go. It's going on a lot easier now, as it should be. There we go. So yeah, not a bad little tip that actually. It works a treat. What I usually do with this type as well, when I've got quite a bit of coverage like this, I'll give it the once over, and then I'll leave it like say 24 hours, and then I'll give it another quick blast before I do a second coat on if it needs it. I'll go back and just check for touch-ups, little tiny pieces that you may have missed. So let's just place this one down and we crack on with this next one. As you can see, it's applying it really well now. Goes over the black really well. Really useful tool, this pen. Fantastic job. That's a good shot, isn't it? Off camera. Brilliant. There we go. So we'll leave them to dry. Do the wheels. Right, so this is the body after we had all the paint off. So it comes up pretty well. And I'd forgotten the headlights. I didn't even realise that they were plastic nuggets that were in there. I always thought like it was just painted. But anyway, we got away with it, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah, I was going to apply a little bit of heat to these A-pillars. I don't fancy breaking it, we're being quite brittle. So you've seen me do this before on another model. So yeah, just not a lot of heat. You don't want to distort the metal. It's just enough just to bend it gently, you know. So just a little bit of heat. And then a nice strong pair of pliers. A little bit of patience. And just gentle tweaking. Even if you have to reheat it, just go back as many times as you need to. Just gentle, gentle, gentle. Can't emphasize that enough. If you go in too heavy-handed, you're going to snap it. And then it's a whole new ball game. Detailing the new A-pillar to go in, and you're making a lot more work for yourself. So just take your time. Oh, door's in the way, sorry about that. Just easing it down into place now. That should sit in there pretty well, actually. Have a look at the other side. I'm just finding me glue. Yeah, so just apply the glue in between the broken pillar and the body. Not too much, just enough, you know. It's easier to apply with a little pin or a piece of metal or what have you, or a cocktail stick, rather than using the tube and it's splitting everywhere, going all over your fingers and gluing your door shut and what have you. Just apply it in and hold it in place for a few seconds. And bring out the baking powder. Hold it in place a little bit now, it's secure. Just sprinkle on a little bit. He says. And just fill it into the little gaps, push it in. And it's more or less an instant reaction, chemical reaction, which forms the weld. go, so you can see, perfect. So you can go in there now with a little file if you wanted to, which I'm going to need to, just get the other side done. So this side's easy actually, it's just a straight glue, straight in and done. Might as well use this stuff that we spilled. Waste not, want not. Filled in there, just a nice little rub over. Make sure everything's covered well, the doors are not stuck. And there we go. Simple, quick fix. Job's a good one. Let's get all this put away. Hide the mess. Good as new. Right, on with the burnishing. So we're using a Scotch-Brite rotary bit on the Dremel. We just go over the whole car, all the oxidisation off, and see if we can reveal any blemishes that may need dealing with. Probably my favourite part of restoration, doing this part. Burnishing the car up ready for paint. Spend a lot of time doing this, to be honest, probably too much time. But I do enjoy this part of it. It's a lovely casting this though, it really is nice. He's done a good job on this Corgi of. It sort of got me thinking as well as I was doing this, I'm going to have to get myself the Starsky and Hutch car and do that as well. Oops. As you can see, it's coming up pretty nice already now. This first stage. Got half of the car done. You can see the comparison. Sorry for going off shot here, it's just a bit easier to do it this way. We'll get the front done. And there you go, you can see half done half knot, so it does make a difference. I say it's only the first step anyway. So I've just zoomed this up. I went over it with all the brush and what have you, bit of wire wool, and then this is the later stage where I've just added some auto salon and buffed it up, as you can see now. This is the preparation just before paint. This is the stage I'm at, and then I'll rinse it off, get rid of any oils and grease and what have you, and then it's ready for paint. And talking of paint, the colour this car wasn't the correct colour. So coming up, you're going to see a couple of photographs from the original series of the colour of the car that it actually was, which is a little bit darker, and that's probably the colour that I'm gonna go towards. So yeah, it come up lovely with the burnish. I was quite pleased with this job of it. So anyway, here's the pictures. This is the original car. You say it's a little bit darker. Another angle. So that's the colour I'm going to go towards. Not as dark, but not as light as it was.
Please like, comment,
and subscribe.
So let's start off with the inside. It's very, as ever, I'm using a paint that's very, very thin, and it takes a lot of covers, a lot of passes to build up the paint and the levels, so it's probably very hard to see on the camera actually, but by the time you can barely see, I've done quite a few coats, excuse me. So if I was to leave this recording, it takes about an hour or so to paint it properly and build up the layers to the colour that I want. So I'm not going to bore you with all that, so I'll just show you the first couple, and then you'll see the hint of colour just creeping in. So you can barely see it's not much difference. That I can see it while I'm doing it, but on camera it doesn't portray very well. Certain lights you can see just a little bit of colour hint coming through. But it's just that it's just a process of building up very slowly, patiently, taking your time. You know, you've just got to stick with the process basically. So you can barely see the hue of the colour, not much. So I'm blasting a lot of air in between the coats, so it's drying instantly more or less. So hopefully you should get a little bit of an idea of the colour now as it goes on from this point. I'll just spin it around on a table so you can see. Just open these doors, get the side done. It just looks like I'm just passing over with air, but believe me, I am putting paint on. It gives you an appreciation of how thin the paint is and how long it takes as well, I suppose. You can just barely make out like a gold tint. So I was going to put primer on this, but the finish I wanted, it's not Spectre Flame, but it's a similar process I suppose, like painting a clear transparent paint onto a high gloss finish. That's where you get the transparency from and that nice deep gloss look. But yeah, I'm not even going to claim that Spectre thing, it's not. It's just a similar process, that's all. Here we go, just a couple of more coats. It's just starting to show now, it's just visible on camera. So let's remind ourselves of what we had before. So play worn, gorgeous car, just neglected a little touch. But we showed it some love, give it a new life, and this is what we ended up with. A bit darker, more detail. The little dude at the back, I actually made him another new gun. So on this patch you'll see his little gun now made out of a bit of styrene. And we painted the light for the top. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, like and comment. And I'll let you have a little watch of it going around. And thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Thank you very much guys. Bye bye, take care, stay safe.